Okay, we're doing exercise 2.5, the block. This one says complete the following views. Show all dimensions. Use correct dimensioning standards. Refer to info sheet 2. So if you look back, have this info sheet 2 as reference for this particular drawing. Okay, so you're going to have to put some dimensions on this one. Alright, so we're going to again box in the front, top and end view using the given dimensions at a scale of 1 to 1. I put my name on it. I've lined my drawing up. Everything should be ready to go. Yep, looks good. Okay, there it is. Alright, so we're going to use 45-degree set square and we're going to put down some dimensions. So the overall dimension, we've got 60, 90 here at the base. I'm going to start it at that point and extend it out, because there's been a little bit of a reduced size happening when I print this out from a PDF. The margins have made this a little bit smaller than the original. So here I'm going to very lightly box in, from there to there, create my vertical off that point. Now the vertical, making sure all of my T-square and set square go together. The edge of the page, of the, drawing board. I'm going to draw the vertical straight up. It's going to be the edges of my top view as well. Now the height, the overall height I've got is 45. Okay, so we're going to measure and mark out 45. I'm taking all my measurements from this point, which will improve the accuracy of the measurements that I place. Just like taking all your lines off a true edge, it means that it will improve accuracy. Okay, as much as possible. I'm going to take that across to my end view as well. I'm making it really light so I can rub what I don't want out. Okay, on my end view, I'm going to place the dimensions. So that's my front view, which is what I'm looking at there. Here is my end view. Okay, so it's sitting to the right, so it means if that's my front view, I am looking at this side of the object. So it's the right view, right end view. Okay, so I've got a backwards L and I've just got these steps on this big object. We're going to box the overall thing in. So the overall width is 60. So I'm going to place, starting at this edge, placing it at 60. Okay, I can box in that shape. Always checking my T-squares against that edge. I'll get halfway into a drawing and find out half my lines have been wonky. Okay, I'm going to take that right up to hit that 45-degree line. Okay, can you see that 45-degree line? Quite often that 45-degree line comes straight off that edge, but as long as there's one up there, okay, off that front corner, that will give us that will translate all of those lines directly across into the top view from the end view and vice versa. Okay, same with the other end. Take that up until it hits that 45-degree line. Okay, I can take those points across now. There. There. Okay, so we have a front view, we have a top view, we have an end view. Right, so that's boxed in nice and light construction way. Okay, at this point we're going to start putting some detail in the front view. That's the one that should have the most detail in it. So we're going to start measuring and marking out. We'll do the block on the end first, which comes in 30. Okay, we've also, so let's draw that in before we go any further. We're going to take that measurement to the top view very lightly as well. Okay, so very lightly up there, across the top view. Keeping it nice and light, so I can rub anything out I need to, any mistakes out I need to later. I'll go over this and firm it in when I'm done. Alright, so I've got my front view, I've got my top view, so I've got that end block. Now I've got to put these measurements on. So if I look here, I've got, looking straight at the front, I've got the heights, 15 and 15, which I can put up the side here. So that will add to 30. I'm lining it up exactly, making sure my lines and marking is as accurate as possible, making a very small mark so I don't have to rub too much out later. It's going to come in there. Also going to take that across here somewhere, and the second one, which I also need across here somewhere. I'll just leave it for now. I think that's probably going to be the top of the step there. Okay, so here we have the front view and it's essentially done. We do need to get rid of this to show how that shape finally looks. Okay, and I've got to firm that in very shortly. Okay, when I've done my other views. Okay, just keep going on the other views. So there's my front view. Now I'm going to do the top view. So looking directly down from on top, I already have this shape sort of measured and marked in. Now I need the steps. So I've got, from the top, I've got a 30 and a 15 from the back. So measuring and marking those points out. There's a 30, it's quite a wide one, and then another 15 on from there. Okay, placing those in my top view, quite light still. I'm going to translate that across to here, to that 45-degree line, and I can take that down to the end view. There it is. Okay, so need to pop that onto the 45-degree line and drop it down. If I drop that down, that's going to be the edge of the top step. The second one's going to be the edge of the bottom step. So there we go. So in doing the top view, we got some information for our end view as well. Now, it's important at this point to try and clean up as much as possible so we can clearly see what our final object should look like, and then we can firm in. Now, when you're firming in, I would recommend using the T-square and the set square again together. Okay, we still haven't put dimensions on it. Okay, now let's do dimensions. Okay, dimensions according to our information sheet. Okay, smaller dimensions go on the inside, larger dimensions go on the outside. Okay, all dimensions should be read from looking from the bottom of the page or from the right of the page. The gap away from the object should be at least about 8 millimeters, I believe, and the extension lines should never actually touch the shape. Otherwise you'll get the extension lines confused with the object itself. Now, an important point here to note is that dimension lines are going to be a lot lighter than your outlines. So I'm just going to firm in one side. Now, it's very helpful to have the dimensions on this shape because we're going to put all those dimensions exactly as shown onto these views. Okay. We never put more dimensions than are needed, because if you double up on dimensions, you're just crowding your drawing and you're actually making it harder to see the drawing. So we only ever put minimal amount of dimensions, but enough that someone else could recreate this drawing with no problem. Okay, so firming in, so you can see the weight difference between a dimension line and an outline. You see there's another line to clean up there. Okay, so clean this up a bit, making sure that I clean it right up to the corner without actually rubbing out the shape. It looks nice and sharp. Okay, we're going to put some dimensions on it now. So I'm going to put all the front view dimensions on it. See, this is one, the 45 height. So we're going to put that on the front view. Okay, so we're going to put that there. Now this is the extension line. Notice it doesn't touch the object. Okay, it sits out from the object. We're going to put it approximately 8 mils out. Now you can measure it but I'm going to do it for mine. It's just to give you the idea of where it should be. It shouldn't be closer, and making it too far away, it doesn't read as easily. Okay, so there we go. Now we have to put the arrowheads on the end. Again, there's a convention for arrowheads. Note that the arrowheads are 3 times as long as they are wide. Okay, we don't have arrowheads that look like that, and we definitely don't have arrowheads that are coloured in. Okay, so no. All right, going to have the narrow pointed arrowheads. Okay. Okay, so there's your arrowhead, and here we've got the number, which you can see is rotated to be read from the right of the page. We put it in the middle of the line and facing to either the bottom or the right side of the page. Okay, very important. So that's how you do correct dimensioning. Now we might have, see how they've split this dimensioning. We're going to do exactly the same thing here with those ones. Okay, split that dimension. So it's going to come a leader line again up. Now this one's going to share. Okay, extension line. Make sure the T-square and the set square all still sit on the edge of your drawing. Okay, so this one's going to come up there. Okay, with this one, again, same thing as shown in this 3D drawing, this oblique drawing, is that the dimensions are all actually going to be along the one line. So I'm going to have this about 8 out again. So about 8 out. We have the dimension line go all the way across. So it's going to go all the way across, keeping it a bit lighter than our outlines. And here we're going to put in the arrowheads here, to here, to here, to here. Okay? Notice I've got the extension lines a bit longer than where they hit the arrowhead, so you can sort of separate out what line's what. Okay, we'll put the middle above being read from the bottom of the page, dimensions. Okay, so we've still got some more that we can put here, but we might actually find it easier to place them out here for these 2 dimensions, or you could probably place them out this side. That would be fine, as long as if you're putting them on this side of the drawing, they still have to face the right hand side of your page. Okay, they can't suddenly face the left side of your page, so just placing those little extension lines there. Okay, we've got the heights, so just marking 8 mil out. Going to put, again, these lines are going to be part of one long dimension. Need to split it. So there we go. So there we go. Now, like I mentioned, you've got to face the dimensions out to the right. Okay, so that's just for the front view. Now you need to do these for the top view, here and here. These will all be in line, one long line across there, and then you are done. So well done. That is exercise 2.5, the block done. Make sure you clean up all of your lines and firm in all the sides. Okay, good job.